What's going on, Packers fans? Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the morrow. That's right, it's the morning, just about a half hour till we're heading over into the afternoon. But I had to do it in the morning today because I will be getting on a jet plane in a few hours and heading to Wisconsin. So I wanted to make sure I got my chat in, you fine folks, especially since we didn't get a Packers Daily yesterday. But you did get a Packer Transplants, so I don't want to hear any complaining. If you missed Transplants last night, be sure to check it out here on the YouTube channel. Corey and I talking all things green and gold. Thanks to everyone who showed up. Thanks to everyone who showed up to the happy hour. Both Carry the G members and Patreon members were in attendance this time, thanks to Tyler's handiwork. We were all having a great time. I apologize for being late, but it seems like everybody was holding down the fort just fine without me. Always great to connect with Packers fans worldwide. It's what we do. And speaking of connecting with people and meeting people in real life, that's the whole reason I'm flying to Wisconsin for Saturday night's big festivity in Milwaukee. Heading over to Scout Wine Merchants. Check it out from 5 to 8 p.m. Corey and I will be meeting and greeting and talking and, drinking beer. A lot of beer on hand. That's right. Carry the G will be on tap at Scout, and they'll have cans for you to purchase. And look, they'll have a food truck. There's going to be music. There's going to be people. It's going to be good times. We're going to talk some Packers. Going to hang out. Hope you can stop by if you're in the Milwaukee area this Saturday from 5 to 8 in Shorewood at Scout Wine Merchants. Be there. I'm flying all the way over there. You might as well show up and hang out. Hope everyone's doing well. Good to see everybody in the comments section. Not a ton of news yet to talk about because obviously Matt hasn't spoken today yet, and they'll take the practice field this afternoon. So if anything comes of today's news run, so to speak, I'll have it up later tonight on the site. But for now, just talking to you fine folks. Good to see everybody. Are you coming back here in Wisconsin, bud? You better believe I am. What did I think of wide receivers? Callum, I thought they played well in their duly designated roles, and I think those roles will continue to expand and change as the year goes on. What was up with my fuck Brett Favre vid? Javier, you have to watch Packer Transplants. And also, I've had a couple people, most people seemingly understand where it's coming from, but I've had a couple people say, what's this about? What's this about? Y'all are living under a rock if you don't know the latest developments with Brett Favre in the state of Mississippi and all of his alleged wrongdoings. Please get educated. Read a newspaper. I ain't got time to be Google for you. Got to do some work yourself. But I think there's some willful blindness going on, which is something I did kind of allude to in my rant there. So it's about as much as I can give you right here, right now. Your thoughts on the number of runs from shotgun? Oz, you're trying to upset me. I know it. I know your game, son. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me all worked up. It's not going to happen, man. Look, Packers got to have a better plan on offense this time around down there in Tampa, wearing the dark greens. Of course, they're wearing the dark greens. They got to have a better plan. Didn't understand any of their approach last time around. Certainly need a better approach this time around. And this time they got to deal with Vita Vea. And I think he is the beginning of all your problems. But whatever the plan might be, whatever LaFleur and Rodgers and company cook up, it's got to be better than what they came up with last time. Ooh, baby. How can I get Carry the G beer in Texas? Nick, you can't. Not as of yet. For the time being, it will be a Wisconsin-only product. Now, not going to stop anyone from, say, calling their friend in Wisconsin and having them possibly maybe bring them some or ship them some. You're not supposed to do that. But I know nothing about it. Just saying you can get creative, but you can only purchase it in Wisconsin. Thirsty Beach, what's up, man? Thanks for checking out the stream on Twitch. I watch Gary all the time on defense. My eyes always seem to float over to Quay. End of the year prediction, Quay greater than Gary. Ooh, baby. Well, Thirsty, he's got a ways to go. Had some very suspect play versus the run on Sunday night. And he's a rookie, to be expected, but that has to improve. That has got to get better. Transplants was awesome. Sorry for stating the obvious. Robin, you're too kind. Thanks for watching, buddy, and good to see you in the happy hour last night. Did the Packers finish the game Sunday night injury-free? That's a really good question, Michael, because it seemed like they did, right? Like there weren't any noticeable big-time injuries during the game. But you never really know until we get to practice and say somebody's sitting out or the injury report comes out and somebody's on you didn't expect, etc. So I suspect, Matt will be asked about it today and we'll see what he says. But it sure seems like, relative. I mean, the injury rate in the NFL is 100%. Everybody's always dealing with something. But, for the most part, it does feel like, yes, they came out pretty clean injury wise. Thoughts on Rodgers saying he loved the Bears still suck chant? Well, of course he buys into the history. I know there are certain members of our local media who tut the fans for saying the Bears still suck, and I say, you know what? The fans pay their money; they can say whatever they want. And I love that Rodgers loves it. I think Rodgers obviously buys into the rivalry and the history between the two teams, and he understands where that chant is coming from. There'll probably be a ton of Packers fans who don't agree, but I think that chant is rooted not only in the sense of, okay, Bears still suck, and we love to say it, and we're going to say it till the end of time, no matter how good they are, or how bad they are, whatever. But there's also a lingering, just a little hint of respect there. There is. Without the Bears, the Packers aren't still going. Papa Bear helped keep the Packers alive. So there's just a very small underpinning of respect there. But they still suck. Rick, thanks for the super chat. I would love to see the defense be as aggressive with their blitzing as Philly was Monday. Yeah, Rick, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Maybe they send some heavy pressure here or there from time to time, but I don't think you're ever going to see, what you saw from Philly. I just don't think that's the structure of their defense and what Joe likes to do. He did send a few heavies last year, but I'd be surprised if it ever got to be like a heavy pressure defense. It's just not who they are. Quay Walker is such a dog. Drew, you're not kidding, man. I mean, literally, he was a Georgia Bulldog. I wonder how our Green Bay doing this week. Randy, we will find out. Tough task with Tom Brady, even though the banged-up offense. Mike Evans probably suspended. Having to sign Cole Beasley at wide receiver. Tom's still dangerous. You give him a little bit of time, and he'll pick you apart. We'll see. Thank you for your video on Favre. I feel the same way. Thank you, Aaron Harper. Thanks for watching it. Your audio sounds a little underwater, but not terrible. Hello. Well, I've got it on the right setting. It's probably.
Let's try that. Huh? Let's try that. I don't know. Think Bakhtiari will play this week? No. I'm going to say no, so that if he does, I'm pleasantly surprised. How's that? Green Bay should sign Julian Edelman this week. Definitely. I love it. Never going to happen. Need to see you on the McAfee show. That'll never happen. And not that I wouldn't say yes. Of course I would. But I'm not big enough to be on that program. They do great stuff. Tampa Bay losing this weekend. Trayson, that's what I'm talking about. That's the mentality we need around these here parts. I like it. Aaron Jones has to get a new contract. He definitely has a lot left to give. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting conversation. Given where his cap hit is going to be next year. I think it balloons to like $23 million or something. I mean, that's off the top of my head. Don't quote me on that, but it's around, like, it becomes pretty damn significant. And obviously he's a big part, if not the biggest part of the offense. But it's hard to justify having Aaron Rodgers at his cap hit, and then having Aaron Jones at that cap hit, and then having A.J. Dillon going into the last year of his deal and probably needing an extension. Whew, baby, that's going to be a conversation. No question about it. Schneidman was on McAfee. Yeah, but Schneidman's a professional beat reporter, and the whole point of that segment was to feature beat reporters. I'm not a beat reporter. I'm just a fan with a YouTube channel. I'm telling you, I don't think Tampa's offense is good. Pee-wee Pierre, I hear what you're saying. I don't think they've been very consistent or effective, but they have shown spurts. They're green shoots there, as Corey likes to say. And they have the one thing that can give the Packers problems, and that's a running game and a running back who can run through them. You just pulverize the Packers D into submission, and then you start going play action, and you'll be surprised how good the Tampa offense suddenly looks. They've got to play much, much better up front. Said it all night on Transplants. Said it on Daily. I cannot. I'll probably be saying it all week. They got to play better up front to a man. The only guy who probably can't, take his game to another level is Kenny Clark, because he's already in the heavens. But everybody else has got to improve. No question. Carl, thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags, I know Dobbs and Watson have their rookie inconsistencies, but man, that sideline play by Dobbs, killer. Big upside for both players. You ain't lying, man. You see the talent. You see the upside. It'll take some time to get it, to be a consistent contribution to the offense, but man, it's tantalizing. No question. No doubt about it. Do I think they keep Dylan? You think Amos gets an extension? Oh, boy. Here we go. All the offseason questions. People, it's week 3. Yes, I think Dylan gets an extension. As for Amos, I'm not so sure. Got to think Green Bay brings him turtle pressure this week, right? Clayton, I hope so. I hope they start, moving around Rashawn Gary a little bit, and maybe they do bounce him inside. Maybe Quay Walker gets sent a couple times. I don't know. We'll see what Chef Barry has to offer, but whatever it is, can't be more bland than the stuff we've seen so far. Do I think they have a chance against Tampa Bay? Of course they have a chance against Tampa Bay. 1,000%. Now, they have not fared well in the state of Florida with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. That is just the history, right? Don't know what that means, what it entails, what it portends, but the history is not great. They have to come out of the gate a little better, and they have to stick with the plan, whatever said plan is, rather than try and get it all back, so to speak, if they do fall behind. But yes, of course they have a chance. Gary at nose and Kenny out at the 7 tech. Ooh, please. Now you're talking. Do I think Aaron Jones is gone after the season? Oh, man. I don't know. It's week 3, people. Yeah, it's a possibility. You can't dismiss the idea because the cap is a real thing, even though people like to pretend it isn't. Gary Bishop, all sorts of stuff here. Nags, don't agree on what NBC report as facts on Favre. Some media sometimes like to try people in their court and convict them as guilty. I don't think Brett is an angel, but not as they have shown. Just a Packers fan opinion. Gary, that's a great opinion. Totally understand it. Totally get where you're coming from. I highly suggest not using NBC and using Mississippi Today as your source, including the woman who did the initial reporting on this 2 years ago. It's been going on for a long time. There have been many revelations. We highlighted the kind of string of articles last night on Packer transplants. I highly recommend reading their reporting. It is damning as hell. That's all I have to say about that. Our 3rd-round curse is disappointing. Amari has done nothing so far. Hopefully he at least has a good relationship with Cobb so he can develop. I mean, yeah, he and Cobb are supposedly great. And I know Cobb was his mentor, growing like all the way back to like the age of 12 or something. So I suspect that relationship is great. Don't know what's going on with him and Rodgers or him and Coach and his inability to get on the field. He's played all of 1 snap through 2 games. So I do, I've talked about it. I just suspect as long as Cobb's upright and healthy, I don't think we'll see much Amari in offense, but we'll see. We're going to make Brady break 2 tablets. I like it. Which White Castle do you think Ron Zook works at? Oh, Christopher, you guys are off the reservation now. Man, doesn't he? I think he doesn't he have a coaching job now? I thought he got him. I thought I saw that like last year. Maybe not. Watson with speed in the center of the field is something we may see. Brandy, I like this idea. A little post and get him going. Let's do it, people. George Hallis quoted saying he can't understand why the Bears aren't utilizing the forward pass more. Well, I mean, yeah, that offensive attack from Chicago on Sunday night certainly threw things back into a different age, no doubt about it. I know establishing the run is important, but feel we need to make some big plays downfield to get that W. LT86. I do not doubt that will be a desire of both the head coach and the quarterback, but that Tampa D is no joke, and taking those shots, so to speak, is a lot easier said than done. They are strong at all 3 levels, and they are assignment sound, and they are fast as hell, and they cover a ton of ground. If you get the running game going, that maybe changes the structure of how they utilize their personnel and possibly gives you a one-on-one opportunity and or the ability to take said shot. But, man, that's a tall order. We'll see. I tend to think this is a game they have to pound the football and they have to dink and dunk and try and get a rhythm passing game going, get the ball out of Aaron's hands quickly because you don't want to take – you don't want to hold the ball against his front. You'll get clobbered. No hero ball, please, Aaron. From your YouTube comment to the football god's ears. We'll see. Zook is the DC for the Seattle Dragons. There you go. Thank you, Mike. I knew he got a gig. There you go. Thirsty Beach. If Rodgers breaks a tablet, the internet explodes. Yeah, no doubt. When he threw that one in Carolina, it's still a gift that gets used all the time. Rasul was awesome Sunday. Clayton, you're not lying. He's been pretty damn good the first 2 games of the season. Not flawless by any means, but it is interesting. It is weird to me as a guy who's used to kind of a smaller, shiftier nickelback, right? He is so big. It like kind of throws your eyes off a little bit just because he's not linebacker big, but for a corner playing in the slot, you're used to a guy who's a little shiftier, but he's physical as hell, not afraid to stick his nose in there against the run. I like it. I'm down with it. I think Gary and Smith are going to put Tom Brady on his back all day on Sunday. Jason, I would love that, but I tend to think it's going to be more Kenny Clark and company. I think the interior guys have a chance to make Tom's life miserable. Johnny, thank you for the super chat. Good morning, Nick. Thoughts on Nick Collins and Donald Driver amongst Hall of Fame finalists? I love Donald Driver, but I don't think he belongs in the Hall of Fame before Sharp. I very much agree with that last sentiment. Look, he's productive as hell. He's the, all-time leader receiving yards wise for the Green Bay Packers, and that means something in 100+ years of history. But I'm with you. For all his longevity and all his big plays and all the great moments that he provided, he's not a better player. He was not a better player than Sterling Sharp. Absolutely not. Sharp should 1 billion% go in prior to Donald Driver. As far as Nick Collins, obviously a immense talent. I think his shortened career is going to work against him. He is 1 billion% worthy, but I just can't imagine him getting in, given the short career he had. Preston, thanks for the super chat. 2022 secondary or 2010s? Also Shields or Jair? Oh, Jair over Shields. I love Sam, but definitely Jair over Shields. But as of this moment, give me 2010s as a whole. William says they're not going to have time to throw it every play. Remember what happened last time? The pass rush wrecked this offense. They have to run the ball. They have no choice. I mean, there's always a choice. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, they 1 billion% should be leaning on the run and not just, pounding it, A gap, what have you. But yes, they should be featuring their running backs, much like they did on Sunday night. Now, it's going to be a lot harder. Yardage is going to be much tougher to come by, but they have to stick with it 1 billion%. This is a game where you got to get those guys, heavily involved and hopefully staying ahead of the sticks and keeping yourselves in manageable situations so that Aaron doesn't have to hold the ball. Because as you state, against this front, you're in a world of hurt if you have to. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to get going. I can't thank you enough. Sorry, I got to cut it a little short. Got a ton of stuff to do before I catch my flight. Thank you so much for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor and hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.